Please welcome Mike Massimino, everybody. Mike Massimino. Welcome, Mike. Thank you for being here, Mike, and thank you for wearing your flying suit, which is fantastic.
Well, I appreciate, you know, the thing is, I was asking my son about, you know, I was coming on the show, and he's 14. I was like, what do you think I should wear? Should I wear my flight suit? And he said, no, don't wear that thing. I go, why is that? He goes, it makes you look like an idiot. So if you're perfect, maybe this will work.
Well, but you fit right in. But the thing is... It doesn't make you look cool on a flight suit. You look. I mean, it would help to have a space shuttle with you, because then it would look, you know.
Yeah, but we couldn't fit it.
Well, you're not going to fit it in here.
Yeah. No. And it's busy right now. It's up in space, so.
It's up there right now?
Yeah, we just had a launch today.
Do you ever get crazy to go back up? Like when you look at the sky every day, you go, I can't stand being stuck on this planet, and you have to get.
Only when I need to do stuff like mow the lawn.
Right.
You know, you come home and all of a sudden, you know, shingles are falling off the roof.
Yeah.
And the pool's dirty, and the kids are screaming, and you're like, I wish I was back in space where everything was simple. But
see, when you take off,
it's good to be back. It's
when
really
you take off in the shuttle, right? Do you control it? Like, do you like all the power and say all the things and do you fly the thing up?
Now you're scaring me. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. We have it's generally an automatic sequence that takes you up there.
Right.
But we have a pilot and a commander and two astronauts who are on the flight deck. Me and two other guys were on the mid-deck, so we didn't have any windows and no gate. We had lockers. We had to make sure everything stayed in the locker, and that was it.
That's a very important job in space.
You don't lose any of your stuff. And, but the guys upstairs are kind of monitoring what goes on. And if we did have a problem, and we actually did have a problem coming off the pad, we had a master alarm go off, but it wasn't a big problem.
I would have made a terrible mess of my flight suit.
Well, that's why we wear a diaper.
Right. Yeah.
We wear diapers for that reason. When we're in our, not in this thing. We fly in our airplanes in this. But we wear a big orange suit, and when we launch and when we land, and we wear a big white suit when we spacewalk. And you know, you can't really get up to go to the potty, so you wear a diaper just in case. You need to do that, but we go the first thing you do before.
Where would I get me one of those?
You don't want one of those. But the first thing you do before you get on the shuttle is you make sure that you're ready to go and all that's taken care of. And
because the captain say right now, has everyone been to the bathroom?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
We're not stopping halfway.
We can't pull off. You know, we can't pull over. So. But yeah, no, it was a little bit exciting.
Now, are you a pilot?
I'm a private pilot, which you are as well. Right?
Check ride in 2 weeks. Yeah.
Check ride coming up. Yeah, that's pretty big for your private license.
Yeah.
You ready for it? How's it?
I think so. The book learning, I'm a bit behind. It's all like airspace, 500 feet below the cloud, 1,000 feet, about 2,000 to the side. I'm like, oh, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, who's up there?
I know. For people, there's a lot of rules. You got somebody to talk to. You know, when you're in an airplane, you got some people you can ask questions to, and that's the way space flight is too. It's an open book test. You know, if you have a question, hey,
you can ask the question during the test.
Right? You can ask a question during the space flight. It's an open book test. So, you know, if you have a problem, they're going to tell you. They're not going to like keep the answer from you.
Not like in school.
Right? In school, they went, no, we're not going to tell you the answer. You got to figure it out. You know?
Yeah, that's bad in an airplane.
In an airplane, they're going to tell. So just think of it that way. If you're up there and you're not sure where your altitude is, you ask the guy.
Yeah, that's right. I don't know where I am.
Right.
And you say, well, you better find out, or we're going to be in trouble.
Keep that in mind. People want you to succeed at that.
That's true.
They don't want problems in the airplane.
I know. I don't. What kind of plane do you fly in your own time?
Oh, well, I haven't flown privately in a long time.
Okay.
It's been years since I've flown in a private airplane.
Right.
But we fly in T-38 jet trainers as part of our training. And I get to sit, I'm the co-pilot, I get to sit in the back. We have our astronaut pilots, commander and pilot from our flight, for example, or one of our instructor pilots sit in the front, and we get to sit in the back. But it's a really cool plane. Is
a lot of full G, about 8 Gs?
Oh, it's a cool, we can go up to about 6 Gs, and if we're doing, you know, those types of aerobatics. But yeah, we can do all kinds of fun stuff with it. It's a great airplane.
Get me some of that then? Would I have to? I should have gone to college, really, for a start.
That's a start, but it's not too late. Yeah. And we have a long application process. You fill that out and see what happens.
I'm a citizen now. That's the first step.
We've had
first step.
Yeah.
First step.
Yeah.
That's actually... why I became an American was partially, well, in fact, really to do with NASA, because I watched the moon landing when I was a kid. You must be about the same age as me, age?
Yeah, I'm 46.
I'm 47. Yeah,
we're coming up on the 40th anniversary of the moon landing. Yeah, we're coming up on the launch in a couple days, and then the landing was July the 20th. So, and it's going to be 40 years.
Did you ever meet Neil Armstrong?
I did. Yes, it was really cool. My first week as an astronaut, 13 years ago.
That must be cool when you say they go, well, there's your astronaut card and your blue suit. Off you go.
They should have.
There's your diaper. Good night.
There should be some kind of ceremony with that, but there isn't. You think, he just kind of hands you this stuff. You go out there.
Like astronaut. It's not like you graduate from plumber college. It's astronaut.
But there's no real. They do swear you in as a civil servant, as a government employee.
Right.
I'm a civilian, so I had to get sworn in, and they give you your fancy flight suit and all that stuff, and not too much pomp and circumstance, but it's pretty cool.
But then you met Neil Armstrong.
Well, the first week, we were there. We happened to show up right around the time of an astronaut reunion that was taking place, and Neil was in town, and he was gracious enough to come speak to our class, and he's he's my boyhood hero. Here he is right there in front of us.
Buzz Aldrin and Michael Collins.
Yeah, they're all great guys, and the thing I know about Neil is that we all went up and got his autograph and said hi to him, and I noticed I was watching my classmates go up to him, and everyone would tell him where they were when he landed on the moon. It's one of these things where, I was in the Poconos on vacation with my family, or I was at home watching on the TV set, or wherever you were, they were telling him this. I'm watching everyone going up, and I said to him, I go, let me ask you something, does this happen to you every day? And he says, yeah. He says, people, it's such a great event that people want to share that with him, and they tell him it must drive him nuts, but he's a very nice guy.
Actually, going to the moon must make you a little loopy anyway.
I would think. We haven't gone there in a while.
The moon. I mean, look at the thing at night and oh my God.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we go with the shuttle, we go we were up at 350 miles up when we were in the shuttle. And the space station where the guys and gals are going today is 250 miles up. And the moon was 250,000 miles away. So we're going less than 1/10 of 1% the distance of the moon. So it was really, you think about that, it was quite an accomplishment.
How long were you up there?
Up for my first flight, I was up for 11 days, and this last flight was 13 days.
Did you ever experience any sensation, I'm sure that you're vetted for this, any sensation of panic or disorientation or vertigo when you were going up there?
Not really, no. I mean, the only, people ask if you're scared, were you nervous or anything? And I tell you, Craig, the thing where it hit me was right before the launch, because you get out, you wake up that morning and you go out and you get into this Astro van, and there's these SWAT guys out there with these weapons, and there's a helicopter above you.
It's like me coming to work.
Kind of like a minute like that, yeah, And I was with one of my buddies, and we was two rookies on a flight. Me and my friend Dwayne Carey, Digger was his nickname. And he turns to me and goes, "What's with all these? What are these guys here for security?" I go, "I think they're making sure we get on.
Yeah.
We don't change our mind."
It would be very bad for the country if you would. I'm scared.
Yeah, it's not good. And then it's terrible if you have kids. They're going to make fun of your kids at school. So it's not a good. You don't want that to happen. But you get on this thing and you go out to and there's a couple managers with you, the chief of the office, and some big shots are with you riding out there. But they keep getting off before you get to the vehicle. They're all leaving. And next thing you know, it's only the driver, and he's driving looking like this. He wants to get you and dump you off. And I had been around space shuttle before, but I'd never been fueled. They fill up that tank with all the fuel.
Does it smell like jet fuel?
It doesn't really have much of an odor, but it has noises to it. When you get to the shuttle, it's like creaking and making noises, and it's smoking, and it looks like a beast. It really does.
That is so awesome.
Yeah, and that's when you realize maybe this wasn't such a good idea.
No,
to get out there. It's just. But once you get inside, so that was where for me the nervousness kind of took. Once you get inside and you have a job to do and you're getting yourself set up, it really is kind of cool. And then once you launch, there's really nothing to stop this thing. It's just gonna go, and it's
like
a cool
ride. It's like making love to a gorilla. You ain't done till the gorilla's done.
I never thought of it that way, but that's a good way to look at it, I guess.
Mate, we're completely out of time. You got to come back and talk to us again.
Okay, I'd love to. I'd love to.
Mike Massimino, everybody. We'll be right back. Please welcome Mike Massimino, everybody. Mike Massimino. Welcome back, Mike. It's good to see you again. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me back.
No, I'm always happy to see someone who's actually got a college degree on the show. It's a big deal for us when we get someone brainy.
I hope I don't disappoint you.
No,
I didn't know this was going to be a test.
No, it's not a test. Right. It's not a test. We're just interested in what you're doing at NASA. Have you been back up since you were?
No, I've been on Earth. This is the last time I've stayed on Earth. I haven't been back up.
What about hallucinogenic drugs? That's often a way to...
I haven't tried that.
No.
I've just been hanging around and trying to deal with what's going on here on Earth.
Now, that's you training in that big underwater...
It's a gigantic pool that we train to get ready for our spacewalks.
Right.
And it's really big. It's 200 feet long.
Right.
It's 100 feet wide, and it's 40 feet deep. It's like a big lake.
It is.
It's big, and we can fit a whole space station and a shuttle and the telescope model in there as well.
You don't want to put that in there. All the wires will get shorted out. You'll ruin the damn thing.
Yeah, it's very, very good. Yeah, no, we have all the stuff that we use that has power in it. Like, you know, it has to be battery powered, and it has to be contained so that it won't short out.
And you've been in space.
Yes.
Right. Is it like space and being in this thing?
It is. You know, it gets you ready for your job that you're going to do.
Right.
Working with your tools, how you're going to work the choreography with your partner.
Choreography? I love it.
That's what we call it.
One singular concession. Beep. That's fantastic.
There's no singing, though.
No, right.
They don't let us sing. But yeah, we call it choreography because that's what you're kind of doing. You're planning out each move. And every move.
That's adorable.
Yeah, do you think? Yeah. I never looked at it that way, but I guess you could.
No.
But every little move has to be planned out, and so we practice that. And you're ready for that when you get to space. You know, you feel very comfortable with it. When I went to the telescope the first time and worked on it, I remember closing a door of I changed out a reaction wheel, a thing that spins and points the telescope.
I know what a reaction wheel is. Do I look stupid to you?
That'll be part of the test.
Yeah.
But as I'm closing the door, Craig, I said to him, I went through my, it's the first time you've ever seen that for real. But I practiced so many times in the water, I felt like I had done it before.
It feels, yes.
But the thing you're not prepared for is the view around you.
Oh, yeah.
That's just, there's no way to replicate the beauty of the Earth in the background as you're doing your work.
That's pretty nice.
The stuff you get to see.
Oh, that's lovely.
It prepares you for part of it, but not for the whole experience.
Does it mess with your mind when you come back? Like, do you kind of look up to space and go, oh, God, I'm so bored here with gravity?
Gravity is the word.
Gravity is the word of the day. Yes. We've thrown it out. But
gravity can trick you.
Actually.
You get used to not having gravity around when you're in space. Everything floats. It makes it easier. One time, one of the first times I got home, I went to the grocery store. I come back to pick up my grocery bag, and I go and I let go, and I think it's going to float and crash. Can you imagine?
I can't imagine that. Is that what you said to them at the time?
That was the excuse I used. I just come back from space.
I just got back from space.
That's right.
I had a couple of drinks on my way home from space.
Yeah.
Wow.
So you can use that. You can use that as an excuse.
That's and does your muscle tone does it all?
I'm only up for 2 weeks, so it's not that bad. You actually when you get back, you feel like a little off balance. Things seem a little heavier to you, but after a few hours, you feel much better.
Just a couple hours.
Just a couple hours. But
what about sleeping in zero gravity?
Oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. Because what you're doing, you're inside of a sleeping bag, and we tie up the sleeping bag. We have little hooks, so you don't want to be getting in your sleeping bag and then knocking into people or banging your head, waking up. So
no, you'd be like, oh, sorry, I floated over to your bunk. That would be bad.
Exactly. I want to be good. So you want to stay in one space, and make sure you know where everybody is.
Right.
And then if you get surprised, something else is going on. So,
okay.
So you get in your little. It's a mistake. But you get inside your little sleeping bag and you tie down, and you actually have a pillow behind you, but your head floats up, right? So what we do is we actually put a piece of cloth that keeps your head against the pillow. It velcros to the back. It sounds uncomfortable, right? It sounds nuts.
Is there a safety word?
No, it just keeps your head, because we're so used to having a pillow behind our head.
So it holds you down.
Just holds your head.
Have you ever tried sleeping without your head held down?
It's a little uncomfortable, because we're so used to having a pillow behind our head.
Right.
But once you get inside of the thing, you're just kind of laying there floating, and it's like a really cool waterbed.
That's really nice. And what's going on with NASA now? Because these shuttle flights are coming to an end.
Yeah, that's right. We only have 4 of them left.
That's very sad.
It's going to finish up this fall, and then the next step, which will be concentrating on long-duration space flight on the space station. We'll be going up on a Soyuz spacecraft. Russians?
Are you going to have to learn Russian?
If you want to go, you have to learn Russian. Yeah, at least they want you to have at least a rudimentary knowledge.
What the hell happened to this country?
Well, think about it. If you're flying on that spaceship, you want to be able to know where the exit sign is and that kind of stuff.
We should have our own damn spaceship. We can't be up there speaking Russian. Space people speak with American accents, buddy. That's the way it's always been.
Well, I got to agree with you.
Yeah.
I got to agree with you.
That makes me very upset.
But just because the shuttle's returning doesn't mean we're not going to have a spaceship.
All right.
We're going to be developing a new spaceship as well. How it's going to happen, we're not exactly sure. The president and the Congress are going to try to figure that out. But
you we'll still hope that. They don't do a lot of figuring out over there right now.
We're still going to be flying people into space. So.
What about the old shuttles? Are they going to be up for sale?
Yeah. How much money you got? Can you fit one in here? Well, I think they're going to put them in. I think they're going to put them in museums.
Right.
They're not sure exactly where they're going to go, but they'll be put in museums.
You'll be one in the Smithsonian, I think.
I think that's probably a good.
And bet. Disneyland.
That might be an idea. I don't know. I'm not getting into the sale. I think it's whoever come up with the right place.
Will you go back to space now? Do you think?
I hope so. I mean, I'm available. I hope I get the chance again. We'll see. Yeah.
Is there a website you can go on?
There's a. Yeah, it's not like a contest or a waiting list or anything. You just, you have a group of people and you kind of take your turn and hopefully you get a chance to go again. So I've gone twice, so that's, that's been nice.
That's pretty good.
I'd be happy to go again.
But see the Tubble telescope. You can't actually look through it or anything, can you?
No, people ask me all these questions about astronomy and stuff, and I'm like, I don't look through the telescope. I only work on it, But yeah,
because you could turn it to Brad and Angelina's or something like that. Just for a minute.
You can kind of snoop around with that thing.
Yeah, like, I can't believe. Look at Courtney Cox.
There's no eyepiece for us to look through on that thing.
Right.
But they get all the fancy pictures, all the data comes down and gets shipped down to the ground, and then the astronomers can look at that stuff on the ground.
Oh, astronomers, those jerks.
No, they're smart guys.
Sorry, I'm thinking of astrologers. I see by looking at the Hubble telescope, you're going to have quite an unpleasant day. Hey, Mike, it's always good to see you. Come back and see you soon, and I hope you get back up to space.
We'll see what happens.
All
right, so too.
Mike Massimino, everybody. We'll be right back. Please welcome Mike Massimino, everybody. Mike Massimino. Mike, good to see you. It's good to see you. I am distraught for you, though. Distraught.
What happened?
Well, because the last shuttle launch is going on, and you're not going up.
Yeah, well, a little disappointing. I can't be on. There's only four of my friends are going. I'm very happy for them.
Yes,
I'm very happy to see them.
Who's going then? Who's the crew this time?
The commander is Chris Ferguson. He's a good guy. Yeah, is he related to you?
I guess in the dim, distant past.
He's from Philadelphia.
Yeah, probably.
He's from Philadelphia. Great guy,
Yeah.
Like
the Philly Fergusons are very famous.
Do you know them?
Oh, yeah. We all know each other. We go trout fishing together. We know the trouts. With
Henry, with his trout. Yeah. So he's the commander,
right.
And then the pilot is Doug Hurley, who's a Marine Corps pilot.
You'd have to be a pretty hardcore pilot to fly that brick around, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you've got to have nerves of steel.
Yeah.
These guys are the greatest pilots. They really are good.
There's no controls on that thing.
Well, no, they have control, but it's all manual. There's no auto land system,
right.
And they actually land it. They only get one chance at the landing. There's no engines that are running.
You can't
it's a glider.
Go up and go around.
No, there's none of that. And you've got to hit this. You're traveling really fast, 17,500 miles an hour.
Right.
And you've got to slow down. You're still going a couple hundred miles an hour when you come down to land, and you get one shot at the landing. And you've been all over the place, and you got to hit this runway.
Yeah.
So
is that a special runway though? It's a big one.
Well, it's a big one at the Kennedy Space Center, or we sometimes land at Edwards Air Force Base.
I've seen the one at Edwards. It's kind of like it was like a pointy thing.
It's big. Yeah. It's a big long. You want a lot of room just in case, but still you've got to hit that runway.
So that's these two, and then who else is on?
And then two of my other friends, Sandy Magnus, is on the crew, and Rex Walheim. So those are the four astronauts on the final shuttle flight.
No robots?
No, we already got a robot. Is he available? Where is he?
Yeah, you can have him, man.
Really?
You can take him to space and leave him there, as far as I'm concerned.
We do have a robot up there, though. We have a Robonaut. He doesn't have a name like Jeff or anything.
Right.
Instead of astronaut, they call him Robonaut.
That's terrible.
Really? Okay. It seems to be. You don't like it? What should we do?
Give him a name, something like
What do you got?
Mr. Biggles or something like that.
Mr. Biggles.
Mr. Biggles. Yeah. People like a friendly name. Look, NASA needs to kind of loosen up with this whole kind of we know what we're doing thing and be more approachable to people. It would help.
I think we should probably have a contest or something.
Mr. Biggles or Sandra.
Sandra.
Sandra Biggles, the robot, and people would be like, "Did you see Sandra, the robot in space?" And they'd be like, "Let's give money to NASA."
Yeah, it would make it more personal.
Exactly.
So those are good. Can we use those suggestions, or do you have them copyrighted?
Sure, you can. I want to help NASA any way I can.
Thank you. That's what, but we just call him Robot. Maybe we can call him something else, but right now he's just Robonaut.
Yeah, he's a he then.
I don't really know. He's kind of just a robot, but I guess we assume he was a he.
Well, even with the name Sandra?
Sandra, we would have to change it if it was Sandra.
Tell me about this mission that's going on there. What's going on in the last mission?
Well, this is our final shuttle flight.
Right.
And it's going to go up to the International Space Station. It's going to be bringing up a lot of supplies.
Right.
And then they'll be up there.
Stuff?
Food, equipment, all kinds of things we need to keep the space station going.
Yeah, a little bit of...
No.
Come on, man. Looking at the Earth from space, it's just a little...
You know, that would just make it... It's good like it is. You don't need that. Believe it or not, you don't need anything to enhance it. It's so beautiful. The view of the Earth is as good as it is.
Yeah.
So they'll bring them some supplies to keep the station going for a while. This is our last big launch.
No more Americans in space?
No. See, we can't get too depressed. When you were saying you felt you were distraught, I think you said.
I am distraught.
Yeah, we shouldn't be distraught about the shuttle because we knew this was going to happen. It's been flying successfully for 30 years, and we're going to keep going. We have people on the space station. There are three astronauts, 3 cosmonauts working together. 6 people are up there. We've had people on the space station continually for over 10 years.
The cosmonauts are the Russians.
Russian guys, right?
Now, I have to interrupt you because cosmonaut sounds kind of better than astronaut. You know, it's like if the Russians had a robot, they'd be like, "Let's call it Sandra." You know, it's
you might have something.
They have a public relations thing going on. NASA is just like, "Oh, we go to space. Oh, great, but who's going? Is Sandra going?"
No, we don't. But astronaut's pretty cool.
Astronaut is pretty cool.
I think it's pretty cool.
Astronaut, cosmonaut. Yeah, I guess.
I mean, I don't know. I think those are. But the Sandra thing, no.
Sandra, that's very cool.
We do have. Well, Sandy Magnus is going up, so that's Sandra. But she's a real person, though. She's not a robot. Yeah, but she's headed up there.
People don't like people; they like robots.
You're not helping human spaceflight with those kind of statements.
Well, do you need humans in space now? I mean, that's a fair question. I mean, the robots can do a lot.
Yeah, they can. I think that it's good to have both. I think it's good to have like these robots we can send to Mars.
Right.
We're actually planning another robotic mission to Mars where you can scout the place out, see what it's like, get a lot of data, pictures, and information. But I think there's something about sending humans that allow you to be very adaptable, to make observations, and things being flexible to solve problems, come up with solutions to problems, where just a robotic mission wouldn't work.
This is the same in the talk show game as well.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, same in the same.
You ever get that question, like, why don't you just put this guy as the host?
Yeah, all
Can a robot? Do we really need human talk show? Of course, but you need them.
Be very careful.
Right.
All the time.
But you need the human talk show.
I like to think that I am, one of the last of the human talk show hosts.
There you go. Because this guy just couldn't cut it.
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah. Hey. So what about you personally then? Have you resigned to the idea that you won't be going back to space, or will you go back?
Well, no, there's still the opportunity. That's the point I was trying to make, is that we have people in space on the space station.
Right.
We're going to continue to do that. We still need to select new astronauts. We have a class that was selected just a couple years ago. We're going to have another one coming up, so we need more astronauts.
Are you personally going back?
I don't know. Maybe. I mean, I've flown a couple times, so I'm not sure if I'm going to get another turn. But it's different now. For the next couple years, we'll be flying on a Soyuz, a Russian spaceship. Is the only way to get to the station now that the shuttle is going to be retired. However, we are building new spaceships here in this country.
We are?
A couple commercial companies are coming up with some new spaceships, and hopefully one of those we'll be able to use. And also NASA is building a new spaceship as well. So
they are?
They are. It's not going to be like the shuttle.
What's it going to be like?
It's going to be more like a capsule, like the Apollo capsule.
I like the Apollo.
So it's going to be a little bit bigger.
Yeah,
take more people.
It was a bit tight, the Apollo.
A little bit tighter. They got some feedback. It was a little tight. A little bigger.
Handles well, but a little small.
It's a little tight.
No, it was about the size of a smart car, this thing, wasn't it? They just went...
It wasn't very big.
Yeah.
Because you weren't in it for very long. If you're just going to go to low Earth orbit, which is where the space station is, you don't really need that much room. You're just going to go there. And when you get to the space station, there's a lot of room.
You get all the room you want with that toilet, with that... Who was that guy? With the...
That was my friend Andy Howell. No, he's not an astronaut. He's a scientist, a university scientist.
Yeah,
I was showing him how to work the toilet. It's also the last flight of that toilet, by the way.
Oh, is it really?
That's the shuttle toilet. So
what's going to happen to it now? Did your buddy buy it?
No. He wasn't able to figure out. He didn't get checked out on it. It didn't work.
Yeah,
it's very complicated.
Yeah, you got to pass the check right.
That's right. So he didn't pass the check right. So
well, listen, you're going to the launch though, right?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna. I'm very excited. We'd love to have you come.
I'd love.
Don't you think Craig should come?
Yeah, I'd love to. It's July 8th.
It's July the 8th. Yeah.
All right,
so I'll be down there.
Maybe, yeah.
We'd love to have you
Put my name at the door.
Okay, we'll save you.
Put my name at the door and
we'll save you a spot. Not on the shuttle, but we'll save you a spot.
No, I don't want to go on the shuttle. Listen, we're out of time, Mike. Very quickly, mouth organ, awkward pause, or touch my glittery ball, or the new option that's available for one night only, touch my revolving lit up glittery ball.
Right? Is it only touching things? Can I just look at something?
Yeah, you can just look at something.
How about you turn that thing on? I'll gaze at it.
Yeah, I'll turn it on.
I'm afraid to touch it. I don't want to break the thing.
Don't touch it, man. Don't touch it. There you go. You're not qualified.
That's pretty cool. I can hypnotize you, that thing.
You want to take that up in the shuttle?
I would love to. It makes me want to go back to space just to have that thing
just looking at it. It's like looking out the window and seeing Jupiter, isn't it?
It is.
If Jupiter was a tiny gay disco. Mike Massimino, everybody. Yes, please welcome Mike Massimino, everybody. I got it right, Mike. Right? You're still with NASA, right? You haven't branched out on your own.
No.
Maybe you might want to think about that. Like, start up your own small business. Astronaut.
Are you trying to tell me something I don't know about?
No.
Did my boss call you?
No. NASA's very happy with your work. Okay. I'm just saying that you might want to branch out and you want to be a self-employed astronaut, small business.
There are some guys who are doing that, but they're mainly really rich guys. Like
well, I guess that's true.
And those guys. Yeah. It costs a lot of money to get your own spaceship together. But they are trying it. They have these commercial companies that are doing it.
I agree with Buzz Aldrin, who says that the private sector is how it's going to get further into expand space travel.
I hope so. I think that's the natural progression of things.
Yeah.
Just like air travel.
Air traffic,
yeah. So I hope we get to that point.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm ready to branch out on my own yet, though.
I don't know if I'd be ready as well. Like, do you want to take a Southwest flight to Mars? I'm like,
there's a lot. It's a lot of paperwork.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
You got to hire people, and then you got to, you figure all that stuff out.
Also, a no-frills airline to another planet. The fold-down table. It's 10 years to Mars.
It'll take not that long, but it's 6 months
like
or so.
Years,
It could if you don't give them the right, and then people complain about it. I'm
peanuts fly around. How are things? You haven't been up there in a while, have you?
No. It's been a couple of years.
Yeah. Do you ever take a ride in an airplane just to kind of get a little kind of methadone?
I just pretend. I just close my eyes and pretend I'm still in space.
Well, maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you could go to the fun fair and get Disneyland or something.
Right. Yeah.
Zero gravity thing. Or that ride. These the vomit comet thing.
Yeah, we can do that in airplanes. So we still fly in airplanes.
Right.
We can still go on amusement park rides. Although I stay away from the ones that have to do with space. Like the ones in Disneyland, they have some kind of Disney World ride.
Space Mountain?
Not Space Mountain, that's right. But there's another one where you have to, like, this mission to Mars or something.
Right.
And you've got to hit buttons. And I was on there with my son, and I was screwing around with him. And you're supposed to follow instructions.
Yeah.
And I wasn't paying attention. And then we crashed or something, and it said, you would not make a good astronaut.
Oh, man.
So I was like, I'm never doing that again.
Don't ever do that again.
So the roller coasters are okay because there's no test involved.
Right.
But it's embarrassing to go into anything where it involves some kind of astronaut test. I stay away from those.
The only thing you have to do is Space Mountain at Disneyland. You have to.
Do you really?
Oh yeah, a little bit before you go on. And
I don't think that. Don't do that at home, kids. That's not good. That's not. You don't want to do it. Well.
No, I'm not recommending. I'm just saying people do it.
All right.
I have heard.
Okay, I wouldn't know anything about it. I know nothing about it.
No, I know.
Yeah.
So what's going on with NASA right now, then? What are you guys doing?
Well, we are still flying people in space.
Great organization ever. I love it.
There you go.
Yeah.
And we appreciate the love you give us. We know you love us.
Great swag, lovely hats.
Yeah. Coffee mugs.
Patches. And little patches and stuff.
Pins.
Oh, yeah. And also, going to outer space is also pretty cool.
That's a good thing, too.
Yeah.
We have two of my friends are in space now, Don Pettit and Dan Burbank, two Americans.
That's good names for astronauts as well.
Dan Burbank and Don Pettit?
Dan Burbank.
Yeah. He kind of, he's got a mustache and he flew helicopters for the Coast Guard.
Have you noticed that all helicopter pilots are crazy?
You would have to be crazy to fly a helicopter.
You think so, right?
Yeah, it looks like...
I think it's a vibration.
I don't like it. I don't trust those things. Whenever you meet a helicopter pilot, you ask him two questions. Yeah. The first is, how many hours do you have? Right. And the second was, how many crashes?
Yeah. And then do the math.
Yeah, and to see how well they did.
Yeah.
Because those things are like something Da Vinci came up with. And I don't see how, how does that thing fly? It's
well, I've heard people say that they don't actually fly. The pilots have said they're just rejected by the ground because they're so weird looking.
That makes sense. I like
the ground just goes, ah!
Yeah, I'm gonna have to ask Dan about that.
Yeah. No, but helicopter pilots, they love helicopters. I'm scared.
I don't. You've got to. I don't trust them. I'd rather be in a. Rocket, an airplane,
space shuttle. Yeah.
I'd rather be in a rocket full of rocket fuel.
That's not dangerous at all.
No.
Space shuttle's done as well now. The
space shuttle's done. So that's completed, and now they're turning them over to museums. Just last week, they started delivering them.
Can I have one?
You can. You're going to get one.
I'd put one out the back there. It'd look awesome.
You don't have enough room. But you're going to get one here in California, though. You're going to get one in Los Angeles. Yeah, the California Science Center.
Oh, I go there.
Is going to get Space Shuttle Endeavour. I think that's planned for the early fall.
Nice.
And Discovery has just been delivered to the Air and Space Museum in Washington, D.C.
Nice.
And the Enterprise, which was a drop test space shuttle, it never flew in space. It was used for landing tests. That's going to New York City.
Is that the one that was on the back of the 747?
They all got transported that way. But yeah, when they did the drop test, they brought it up with a 747, and then they let go, and the thing came down and landed before they flew the space shuttle in space.
Yeah, but it didn't. I mean, someone flew it down.
Oh yeah. No.
See, I want to meet the guy.
You know who the guy is?
Who's that?
It's an interesting guy. It's Fred Hayes. If you remember the Apollo 13 movie.
Yeah.
He was in the Apollo. He was the guy who was one of the Apollo 13 astronauts.
Right.
He stayed with NASA after the Apollo program and was one of the test pilot guys.
See, if I was on Apollo 13, if I got back to Earth, I'd be like, I think I'm getting into gardening.
Well, he probably needed a few more years for retirement. You know? And so he didn't go back to space. He flew the thing down from the 747.
You know, I went to the Legends of Aviation dinner last year. You ever go to that?
No, I'm not a legend of aviation.
No, I sit there now.
You have to be a legend.
But Jim Lovell was there, right?
Oh, that's cool.
Right, so Jim Lovell was being introduced. Jim Lovell was the captain of Apollo 13, right?
Yeah, commander,
Commander, right. So he was being introduced by Sully Sullenberger.
Cool guy.
Right. So Sullenberger gets up and he says, Jim Lovell taught me everything I need to know about aviation. He said, no matter how bad it gets, no matter how terrifying or scary or how close death may look, always sound cool on the radio.
Yeah, that's what he did. And he's a cool dude. Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Amazing guy.
Yeah.
Amazing guy.
I got a chance to meet him a couple of years ago, Sully, and I had a question for him. And I asked, is it true that you landed in Hudson River, Sully, because you didn't want to land in New Jersey? I goes, and why? He goes, and he kind of laughed, but I think that might have been why.
Yeah. You know, I think any conceivable joke about that miracle in the Hudson thing, he's heard it a couple of times. He's like, don't even tell me I heard it. So what are NASA doing now then? What are you guys doing?
Well, we still have the guys in space.
Next big one, though.
And the next big thing, there's really two things going on. One is that we're helping some of these commercial companies develop ways to launch cargo and people into space to go to the International Space Station, which is in low Earth orbit. You know, we're only 250 miles up around the orbit where the space shuttle flew, near where I flew when I went to the Hubble Space Telescope. It's a couple hundred miles up. So we want to go beyond that. So we're hoping that these commercial companies, like you mentioned, will be able to take us to the International Space Station. And then we're hoping to go beyond low Earth orbit, which means places like the Moon or to Mars or to an asteroid. So for that, we need a big rocket, which we're developing.
You don't want to go to an asteroid.
It wouldn't be my first choice.
An asteroid is nothing.
It's like a big rock.
Yeah, it's like Reno without casinos. It's just nothing.
I tend to agree with you. But it's a possible place that we could go. My preference would be the Moon.
I
think that's why the Moon is there.
Right, you meant to go there.
Yeah, that's God put the Moon there. Here's a playground. Go play it.
Go.
Go find it here. Put it close. Not too far away.
And this would be a great place for a bar.
Maybe so.
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
Yeah. But no atmosphere. That's an old joke. That's an old joke.
welcome Mike Massimino, everybody. Mike Massimino. Mike, sit down. You look great. You look great. You're in shape. You look fantastic. You've been working out. Yeah. Do you do that one?
I was watching that demonstration from the green room, and I'm not familiar with that.
Well, you know that.
It looks interesting.
You don't have that. Don't you have a multi-gym in space?
Yeah, we do, but we don't have the sound effects. We do. Exercise is very important in space and on the ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no.
But you don't have the.
Yeah, we do, but we don't quite have that sound effect.
Long time up in that space station, Mike.
Something to think
Long
about.
time. Gets cold in space. Sometimes you need a cuddle.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
It's a good point.
You get lonely up there sometimes?
No, you have lots of friends with you. You don't go by yourself. You have plenty of friends, and you have the internet.
Yeah.
What else would you want? And you got a really good view.
Yeah, well,
you always got something to look at.
Oh, here, I want to
Music
talk to you, actually,
listen to.
talking of views, the Mars mission. What's it called again?
Curiosity.
Curiosity,
Is the Mars Science Laboratory roaming around.
Right, and it's looking around Mars.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
awesome.
Yeah,
The pictures are coming back. Are you watching these things?
Yeah.
Have you got the pictures? Look at this. Yeah. Look at this. This is another planet. You know what would be great? If you just put in, like, you know, a billboard for Carrot Top or something. It would look exactly like
Vegas.
It looks like Nevada a little bit. This is southern Nevada.
Yeah.
Yeah. You should train there.
We do geology training out, not necessarily in Nevada, but we go to New Mexico and Colorado and Utah, places like that too.
Will we ever go to Mars? Do you think that's going to happen?
People, yeah, I think so. In fact, that's part of the reason we got this this rover up there, is to find out what it's like, see if how we can maybe send astronauts in the future up there.
How long is the trip?
The trip is it's about 6 months to get there, so it's quite a long trip.
That's a long way.
Yeah, it's a long way.
In a little spacecraft.
In a little spacecraft. Yeah, so you want to do a lot of exercise up there.
Yeah.
But exercise is very important, because when you're weightless and you're in space, your muscles can decay, atrophy. You lose bone. Actually, your bone density can decrease. Yes. So exercise is very important.
So what kind of exercise you do then?
Usually you can run. You can ride an exercise bike.
In space?
On a treadmill.
But you're weightless.
Yes, but you actually tie yourself down. So you're a smart guy, aren't you?
Yeah.
Can't fool you, man. No running laps around the spaceship.
Oh yeah, getting plenty of exercise.
Yeah, like lifting weights, everything's weightless, right? So
give me that 500
pound dumbbell. Yeah, you know. Yeah. You can bench all your friends, put them on it. Yeah. So what you have to do is you actually have to kind of tie yourself down. So
I kind of like that. Sounds kind of cool, actually.
I knew you'd. I knew you'd kind of like this. But you wear a thing around your waist, and like a bungee kind of deal.
Right.
And so you can stay on the treadmill when you run. In fact,
so do you crank it up to your body weight then?
Well, yeah. You adjust it so it has the
hustle and grind. I carve my path. Each step forward in aftermath. Dreams pulsate within. Fueling my fire with determination ablaze. I never tire. Day by day I chase the gleam. In the labyrinth of life I craft my scheme. I'll nurture my aspirations, let them thrive. In the symphony of ambition I'll strive. Rise up and showcase your might. Show them what they find. They say us take flight. We'll scale the peaks, reach the zenith's height. Together we'll ascend, never falter, never slight. In the face of adversity we stand tall. With grit and valor we heed the call. No setback too great, no hurdle too steep. We're the architects of our destiny, the dreamers who lead. So let's rise, let's soar, let's defy the limits imposed. Reach for the sky with unity as our strength and courage as our guide. We'll conquer the horizon side by side.
Right body weight, and you can enjoy. In fact, one of our astronauts, Sunny Williams, who's up there right now.
Right.
The last time she was in space was during the running of the Boston Marathon.
Right.
And she's from Boston, and she ran the marathon in space on the treadmill. She ran to 26 miles.
How was her time?
She was up there. I was very good. I don't know what it was, but it was very good. She did really well. She's in.
I mean, I'd be kind of like getting myself a little lighter as time was going on. You know, I know.
I would cheat the whole time. I would turn off the camera and hang out, or just keep repeating the downlink. Yeah, I wouldn't. That's the way I would do it, sure.
That's amazing that you can do that. So listen, tell me about, have you found anything out from Mars yet? Water there, yes or no?
They're just kind of still checking out their instruments as far as I understand. And they're getting everything looks good. They've got some really good pictures like you've seen there.
Right.
And they're just about to start the search for water and this microbiological life that they may find somewhere under the surface. So
that's
all
going
that
to pose
cool
a lot
stuff
of
is yet to
very
come.
dangerous questions for people who aren't big on the other planets and evolution and all that. That's
what's
going to
that?
be a problem. Well, I mean, if there's life on other planets, then a lot of people's belief system's going to be affected by that.
You think so?
I think a little bit.
I don't know. What do you think? Think there's life somewhere else? You think we're the only?
Yes, it's mathematically almost impossible that there wouldn't be life somewhere else.
I agree.
I mean, there you got up there Reno and other northern parts. There's bound to be someone up there.
You probably draw the line in Canada, though. I'm not sure what's above there.
Well, it's life, Mike, but not as we know it.
But I agree. I think there's got to be something.
Oh, there's definitely stuff up there. Are you still involved in the space program?
Yeah,
you going to go up again?
I don't know if I'm going to get a chance to go again, but I'm still there.
What age are you now?
I just turned 50, man.
Oh, man. Oh,
that's what you tell me.
Man, me too.
Well, when you were telling me I was looking good, it's scary. How did you take it?
Horrifying.
I can't take it. I didn't even want to celebrate. I wanted to forget the day existed when it was my birthday.
Did you get the colonoscopy yet? You got to get it.
That's my present I haven't gotten yet.
Yeah, no, you got to get it.
I started getting when I was 40. That was my 40th birthday. But NASA, they want to make sure you're healthy.
Oh, right.
They don't take any chances.
Well, so then it's old hat to you.
That's one way to put it, yeah.
I was amazed when I got it, though.
Yeah.
It's like, when they send a camera up there.
Yeah. Did you watch?
I didn't watch.
Did you get the tape after?
No, because I had to have the other one done. Yeah.
That doesn't sound good.
No, well, they knocked me out.
All right.
But when I woke up, the guy told me, because they pump air into your passages.
Yeah, you get
You get a lot of gas,
Right.
but you haven't had food for a couple of days, so it smells great. You come out and you're like, whoa, and you're like, did that rich lady come into the room?
What did the guy next to you say, though?
Yeah,
that was your interpretation of it. What did the other guy think?
It's an amazing thing. And I got this really powerful drugs to,
Yeah. So you like the whole experience?
The drugs
sounds
I liked. Yeah.
But turning 50, and you recently turned 50 as well. It's
I did. Yeah.
I don't know. It's
kind of frightening.
It is. It sounds.
Because there's no society in the world that would call you the kid anymore.
Yeah, that's it. I feel like this is what I'm afraid of. I feel like I have to grow up.
Nah.
For some reason, I feel like it's. But I think I can always use you as a role model.
Right.
You're just a little bit older than I am.
I'm a couple of months older than you.
When's
Did
your
I
birthday?
grow up? Ooh la la. I did not, Mike. I did not.
So I think I got to keep that in mind. That, I think, was my biggest fear about it.
You know what I think is I don't think anyone grows up. What frightens me is that people who are not as grown up as I thought they would be are like running the country and running big business and running television shows, and they're just jerks the same age as me. It's terrifying.
It is.
Yeah. What is guys that are running NASA must be like in their 50s, right?
Yeah, you got a lot of young people working there.
Oh, you don't
want
want
look at these people with the rover. You got all these. You don't want. Well, a lot of young people. You need young people though.
Oh, are you sure? I think they're.
They got good ideas.
Yeah.
You think so?
No, of course. I have
someone's got to do the work.
Yeah,
you got energy. We're too old. I need to sleep. Take naps. You need someone who can work.
You can take naps in space.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one advantage.
Who's the oldest guy who's been in space?
John Glenn, I think,
probably,
when he went up on the space shuttle back in 1998, he was old. I don't know what his age was. He was probably close to 80. I think.
John Glenn's a badass. I mean, it's like John
Glenn.
He
is, man. Yeah. No, he's a Marine. In fact, I was a new astronaut. I guess he was maybe his early mid-70s at that point. But it was really cool. I was a new astronaut, and then John Glenn, one of my boyhood heroes, shows up.
Yeah.
And he was training with us and going to the gym, and he was just a cool guy. He was down to the bone. He was a Marine, kind of a tough guy, very nice man.
They kind of make him that way. There's no point in having kind of like edgy Marines. Put them tough. You don't like that. I'm a Marine, but I don't feel like going in.
Yeah, exactly.
You
want guys who are ready. Yeah. And that's what he was. He was a cool guy. Yeah. But he was the oldest guy to ever be in space.
Yeah.
So we're still kind of young. We still can go.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to send him to space. I'm not going to waste rocket fuel and send my ass to space. What's the point?
I'd send you if I could.
Well, maybe a couple of guys around here they would send me. But no, you can go up there and do work. I'd just go up there and do crack jokes.
We can keep people
From
entertained.
space.
Yeah, but Craig, you see, but that's important because you want to keep good morale when you're up there. Especially if you think about this Mars trip for 6 months.
Yeah, well, that's
right.
true.
You're going to need some entertainment while you're up there.
don't
You're
want
going to go
me-
nuts.
Oh, you want me to be the onboard
I
entertainment?
tell you what, how about if you and I were together?
Okay.
All right.
I'll do it. I'll do it.
If they would send us together, that would be a lot
I
of
tell
fun,
you,
don't think?
3.5 months, it'll be naps and colonoscopies all the way to Mars, buddy.
Who would do the colonoscopy, though?
We're doing them to each other.
Yeah, see, you got to know where to draw the line.
All right, we're out of time. Mike Massimino, everybody. We'll be right back. What kind of doctor is your sister then?
Internal medicine.
Internal medicine, so all her work is done indoors. What does that mean, internal medicine? That means like it's all organs? No, she doesn't do hair? No, I'll not.